Hey everybody, Rob here in Bakersfield, California, and welcome to this week's Throwback Thursday. All my regular viewers, you're going to notice right off, I'm no longer wearing the sling. I started physical therapy this week, and I was told I could go around without having to wear it all the time. Just be careful, and if it starts to hurt, and put it back on. So it's getting better. The biggest problem is the bicep, but it's getting there. So, that out of the way, let's get to this week's story. And I had a hard time trying to figure out which story I wanted to tell you because I had so many stories going through my head this week. Couldn't really decide which one to tell. So I'm going to tell one that now, is a little bit funny. At the time that it happened, it was kind of like, one of them, what the heck moments, with these people type of thing. You'll understand when you hear the story. Anyway, this is going to be the shades of the movie Carrie. Those of you who haven't seen that movie starring Sissy Spacek probably need to watch it. If not, you'll understand this story. Anyways, this goes to when I first started. I was in my field training still, and I was riding an ambulance, two-man unit with my FTO. I was assigned out of the Central Division, and it was a Monday morning. Now we get this code 3 call, respond to a house that teenage girl's locked in the bathroom bleeding to death and in hysterics. Well, our first assumption is that she's, slit her wrist and trying to commit suicide, right? So we haul over there, code 3, get to the house. We're met at the door by an older couple. Turns out it's Grandma and Grandpa. Okay, they tell us that, their granddaughter is locked in the bathroom and won't open the door, and that she's screaming hysterically that she's bleeding to death. And they don't know what's wrong. They don't know what's going on. She won't open the door. So we go back there, and sure enough, the door's locked, and you can still hear her screaming and crying and everything. And we bang on the door, let her know that we're police, and we're there to help her and ask her to open the door. Well, she still won't open the door. So now we are faced with a choice. What do we do? Okay, we're going to kick the door in. So we push the door in. And there, to our surprise, is standing a young high school age girl, completely naked, in the shower with blood all over her hands and blood streaming down her legs. So at this point we still don't know what's going on. So my partner, he rushes in. He's first one through the door. I'm right behind him. We got the first aid kit and stuff. So we grab some towels and wrap them around her. And my partner's talking to her, and I'm trying to get information from Grandma and Grandpa. Has she ever tried to commit suicide before? Has she been depressed or, having problems or anything like that? And, all the answers are no, no, no. And so I turn to my partner, see how he's doing. Well, he's got her, covered up with some towels and checking out her hands and wiping the blood off her arms. He's looking for cut wrists and stuff, right? Well, at the time, I didn't know it, but he didn't find any cut wrists. He turns to me and he says, go get the gurney out of the back of your ambulance. We're going to load her up and take her to the hospital. So I run out, grab the gurney, bring it on in the house. I get back to the bathroom, get Grandma and Grandpa out of the way. Because now, they're blocking the doorway, get them out of the way. Get there, and by now my partner's put a bathrobe on her. We've laid her down on the gurney and strap her down and everything. And, she's still crying, but not as hysterical as she was before. And we let Grandma and Grandpa know, what hospital we're going to take her to. So we take her out, load her in the ambulance, and, buckle her down there. And he jumps in the back, I jump in the driver's seat, and off we go to the hospital. And, we're not really communicating much or anything other than, is she okay? Yeah, there's no bleeding, blah, blah, blah. And, he says he can't find no cut wrist or anything. So, I'm still trying to, process through my head, well, what the heck's going on here? We get her to the hospital, turn her over to the doctors and everything. Well, they're going to check her out, fix up whatever's cut or wrong because they still don't know either. And, hang on to it, right? Well, Grandma and Grandpa show up. So, our business is down, so we go out and we're going to head back to the station and restock the ambulance, get some clean sheets for the gurney and everything. And on the way back, my partner starts to tell me, well, he checked her all over, couldn't find any cuts on her at all. And I go, well, where was the bleeding coming from? And he goes, from inside. And I go, from inside from where? And he goes, well, from, I forget exactly how he said it, but, something like, her vagina or her pussy or, something like that. That area down there, her private parts area. And we just kind of looking at each other, kind of dumbfounded like, and I go, you mean she was on her period? And he goes, I think so, yeah. He goes, I don't think anybody ever told her about the facts of life or nothing, and she just went hysterical. And I don't think Grandma and Grandpa ever told her. She's been living with Grandpa and Grandpa since she was a little kid, so they probably never had a talk with her about that stuff. I don't think she knew anything about it. And we're going, huh? Because we still, at that point, we didn't know, well, is that really what happened? Or was she having some kind of internal bleeding? We don't know. My partner told the doctors he didn't know either. So, I guess it's kind of like that scene in Carrie where she's in the shower at school and all of a sudden starts bleeding and just go hysterical because her mama never told her nothing. It's the same kind of thing with this girl. It's like, how could you believe in this day and age that a teenage girl would not know about that sort of thing? But I guess it does happen. So, there you go. That's my story for this week. And for all you that were wondering, yes, she was very cute looking, but I was very professional and wasn't thinking about that at that time. I was thinking about trying to save her life. And why is she bleeding? So on. All right. Hope this all gave you all a good laugh. See you next Thursday. Bye-bye.